Folks, welcome to the first installment of the River Valley Report with yours truly, Honorary Captain Harry Pedigo, and I'm sitting here in a deck chair exaggerating and looking over the muddy Ohio River, and it's rolling calm and smooth on a chilly November morning with those sycamore leaves blowing in a gentle breeze. We're talking steamboats and fiddle music today, and as you might have guessed, I'm a little biased having grown up on the old time fiddle on the old Ohio River, but in my personal opinion, it doesn't get a whole lot better than a River Valley morning and an old time fiddle tune. And I think if Harlan Hubbard or Mark Twain or John Hartford were here with me right now, they could attest to that. Because there's a certain tranquility about the river. There's a certain calmness in her movement that sets the mind at ease and it puts the heart at rest. You know, my father is an old-time river man, and growing up we had all manner of steamboat and river memorabilia hanging up on the walls and stuffed into drawers and dressers and crammed into old cigar boxes, and I guess that sort of stuck with me, you know. I remember him saying to me one time that time passes differently on the river, almost like it slows down some. And he told me it takes you longer to get your sense of time back after being on a boat for a while than it does for you to get your land legs back. And the more I think about it, the more I think that maybe that's a good thing, that maybe the world needs to slow down some so we can appreciate the beauty of this world. Growing up on the river, you see your fair share of tugboats and of barges, but what really gets your engine fired up is seeing one of those paddle wheels, one of those steamboats, rolling down the river with that big red wheel kicking up water behind it. And the first paddle wheeler that I had the pleasure of meeting was the PA Denny, and the Denny was built by the Charles Ward Engineering Works back in the late 20s. And it was a small boat, about 109 feet long, with 3 decks and a genuine steamboat calliope. At that time, it was piloted by a family friend, Captain Frank Straub, and a motley crew of boatmen coming from all over the Mississippi, Ohio, and Illinois rivers. And the Denny was one of the last excursion boats to work the Ohio. And I remember riding it down from Ripley here in Brown County, down through the Meldal Lock, down to Cincinnati, eating with the crew, sitting in the pilot house and listening to the sound of that big old wheel cut the water. And I think that might have been one of the fondest memories I have of my childhood. There's not a whole lot of options anymore in the way of working on boats on the river. You know, planes, trains, and automobiles have made sure of that. But I never lost that interest and that desire to be connected with the water, to be connected with traditional river culture. I guess you could say I found an outlet in old-time fiddle music, and it's sort of eaten up my heart and soul. You know, I had a fiddle teacher in Maysville, Kentucky named Dr. Leo Blair, and he came from Morehead University, where he taught orchestra and Appalachian music, and he was basically an encyclopedia of Kentucky fiddle history. There wasn't a question you could ask him that he didn't know. And he introduced me to a variety of old-time traditional music, you know, Blind Ed Haley, the Skillet Lickers, and a whole lot of others. And that music led me right back here to the river, because I think you'd be surprised at how many fiddle tunes, you know, originate on rivers. You know, tunes like Boatman's Dance and Forks of Sandy and Big Scioto and Brushy Fork of Johns Creek and Over the Road to Maysville. And learning and preserving these tunes is just about the only way we have anymore of getting back to old-time river culture. And I think it's something we ought to try to get back to, folks. You know, the slowness and the stillness of a river valley in the morning, and the simplicity and the serenity of an old-time fiddle tune. You can hear those notes sort of coming out of the morning mist there on the Ohio.